Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
What's cracking, dog? What it do? This is R2 Radio. R2 Radio? With the homeboy Roro and your homegirl RISA. Check it out.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to R2 Radio. On this episode, we take it to Tokyo, Japan at the Redbull Studios for a flashback interview. Since the RedBull Thre3style World Tournament just concluded, we figured it'll only be right to show a flashback interview we did with none other than the legendary DJ Jazzy Jeff. This interview was only broadcasted on the airwaves in Japan, but for the first time, we're broadcasting it to the world. So without further ado, let's get to the interview. We're at the Redbull Studios right now. I'm about to interview the one and only DJ Jazzy Jeff, who's in Japan for the RedBull Thre3style World Finals this year. What's up, DJ Jazzy Jeff? Welcome to Japan.
Oh man, glad to be here.
Okay, so our first question is, what inspired you to become a DJ and how did it all start?
Oh, what inspired me? You know what? Growing up in Philly, going to the block parties, I remember going to a block party and I saw maybe 1,000 people that, and I realized that the DJ was the guy that was controlling them. You know, he made them do whatever he wanted with the records he played, and I just sat there all night. And instead of, you know, dancing with the girls or doing that, I just paid attention to the DJ because I watched how he could basically control the whole thing.
That's what's up. So, what was the first record you bought?
Oh wow! You know what? I inherited a lot of records. I had older brothers who were really big record collectors, and they would always give me, you know, either older records or even just let me use the records. So I kind of started with a little record collection. I don't remember the first record that I actually paid money for, but it was just one of those things that you looked up and you just had to create a record.
I feel you. Same deal with my grandma. You know, she had a whole bunch of records. I feel you. So, well, going to the music and producing side, you know, what was the process like making Summertime with the Fresh Prince, or better known as Will Smith?
You know what? That really came about with him the first year on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was in LA and I was in Philly. And in Philly, we have the seasons. We have winter, spring, summer, and fall. LA is just summer. Yeah. It's hot summer and not so hot summer. And it really started with him calling me like one of the first days that it got warm on the East Coast and asking me, you know, how was it? You know, what was going on? Because when the weather changes, you know, people respond different. You haven't seen people that you didn't see all winter. You start waxing and polishing your car and you want to go out, and he missed that. And I think that was the inspiration for basically coming up with the idea. And then, you know, Summer Madness was a really big record when we grew up, and it was like, hey, let's flip that.
But like that.
And everything just happened after that.
It was history then.
Yeah.
I feel you. What do you think makes a great DJ?
Well, I mean, it's a whole lot of different things. It all depends on what kind of DJ you are that you can look at what makes you great. Play selection is to me very, very high up on the list. And you want to have your own identity. You know, I think, you know, as a DJ, you know, there's a million records that you can play, but what are you known for? What does people want to see in you? And I look at that exactly like any other profession. If you're a painter, why would I get you to paint my house over this person? Like, what is your signature that I'm like, oh, I need you to paint my house? And that's how people look at DJs. It's kind of like, I'm going because I know this is what he's going to bring. This is the type of music he plays, or this is the type of energy, you know, he gives off. You know, is he an educator? You know, is he a party rocker? Is he a turntablist? Is he all of the above? You know, and I think what you have to do is have something that you can call your own, that you can basically say, that's me.
Great outlook on that.
Yeah.
So there's many battle and club DJs that use Serato and Tractor or other softwares that sync to their laptops. How do you feel about the shift in technology when it comes to DJing?
I love it. I love it. I mean, you never can kind of pigeonhole yourself, you know, in one thing. I mean, if you look back, 20 years from now, we never thought that all of our music, all of our email addresses and our phone will all be on one device that we keep in our pocket. So as much as you would accept that level of technology, you have to accept it in almost all things. As long as to me, the purity of it is still there. As long as there's a skill level. I don't like the stuff that makes it that anybody can do.
Water it down.
Yeah, you kind of, there's a certain level of skill that people have paid their dues. I always look at it like, it would be very disrespectful for me to go to the New York Knicks just because I hit a couple of jump shots and say I want to be on the team. Like, I didn't pay my dues that all of those guys paid. I didn't play high school ball, college ball, or put in those hours of work. Just because I hit a couple of shots, it's a lot more to it. So just because you have favorite records or you like music doesn't necessarily mean that you are the sound provider for thousands of people when it comes down to music.
I feel you, man. I really feel you on that one. So, on the contrary, I mean, even though there's a lot of technology out there, the vinyl culture is back on the rise with the younger generation. And, how do you feel about the young people getting into vinyl?
I love it. It's just, to be around long enough to watch a cycle kind of, come back around. I think it's great, just the tradition of vinyl and the sound of vinyl and the feel of vinyl. If you've ever been a vinyl collector, you know what vinyl smells like. You know what a record store smells like. And that's something that you'll never forget. So I think it's cool. You walk into stores like Urban Outfitter and they got a section of vinyl and you see kids in there buying stuff. I love it.
So, I mean, you've been around from the beginning of vinyl DJing to seeing how big it has risen technology-wise, making things a lot easier. Which one do you prefer?
I absolutely prefer the easier way. I'm always going to be a vinyl fanatic and I love it. But, that's a lot of work, especially a traveling DJ who travels around the world. There was so many times that I'm more nervous about my records coming than my clothes. So just to be able to have all of the stuff that you really need to put on a great performance in your backpack, I think is priceless.
I see. Okay, well, after years of doing music, what keeps you inspired to keep creating and doing what you do?
I think more so the love. I love music. I love, playing music for people and discovering new music. And then I think, being able to travel, getting that experience in different cultures. This is a completely mind-blowing experience for everybody here. That we're here for over a week in Tokyo, that you're soaking up the vinyl culture, you're soaking up the technology culture, you're soaking up the way that someone else approaches it in another part of the world. Like that gets you excited, that and you just adapt that to your own and take it with you.
I see. So speaking of Japan, what did you like in Japan so far while you've been here?
Well, you know what? I come to Japan maybe twice a year. So I'm always here. This is the longest time that I've spent at one time here, which I love. And it sucks sometimes coming and you land at 5 and you get to the hotel at 7 or 8 and you go to sound check and then you go get something to eat and then you play the show and then I take a shower and then I'm on my way back to the airport. It's kind of like I really want to spend some time
just to sit and enjoy.
So just to know not only that you're here for a considerable amount of time, but you're here with some of the best DJs in the world. That everybody's kind of like, okay, I don't have anything to do. What are we gonna do? Let's go record shopping. I'm gonna go clothes shopping. And just even staying in Shibuya, that's so many of the places that everyone wants to go is in walking distance. Was great. Everybody's having a good time.
Okay, well, for Japanese food fans, what's your favorite Japanese food? What do you like?
What? I'm different, man. I'm very, very picky when it comes to eating. I like what I like. I don't want to experiment. And there's way too much experiment stuff out there that, it was a couple of nights that we went out to restaurants and everybody's eating and I'm like, nah, I'm okay. I'm just kind of like, I just can't wait to get me a fish sandwich from Burger King.
I feel you.
No, but it's good. It's good. Experiencing some of the stuff is good. Everybody is really going crazy. That they've gone to these noodle bars and stand-up sushi. So I'm gonna try some stuff this week.
Yeah, you should try it. Just one thing, don't try Shirako.
Okay.
Maybe you should look it up and see. Well, we're gonna get back to the music. Okay, when you used to battle, what was one of your favorite techniques or like secret weapons to you that you know that was gonna kill everybody out there?
I don't know if it's really like that. I think what you do is you adapt to what it is, because you can have this one thing, and what happens if the guy before you does that one thing? So you always got to have a plan B, a plan C. So I think you just, you know, the idea of these competitions is you always have to plan for, you know, if you know if it's one set that you have to do to make it to the finals, you need to prepare for.
So kind of like freestyle battling.
Absolutely. You don't know. You don't know. You know, sometimes, you know, the set that you think is going to be the main set is not. You know, there were times over the years that we've seen DJs whose first set was better than their second set. That you were kind of like, wow, if he did his first set in the finals, he would have won. You know, so it's so much. And that's what I think makes this whole thing really exciting, because it's a level of chance that, you know, pretty much every last one of these guys and girls that have come won. That's why they're here. So everyone here has the ability to be the world champion. So, you know, and then it's cool because, you know, you're eating dinner with the person that you're going to battle.
I see. I'm just soaking up like, okay, what you gonna do? Well, I mean, you've been doing a lot of things that have been in the music industry for a while. But I would like to know, what is on your bucket list of things to do in the music industry?
I don't think I haven't. I don't think I'll leave the bucket list to chance. I think, you know, one of the first things that I felt is I don't want to reflect back and say I should have or I could have. I'm just going to do it. If it's something that you want to do, I want to get it out. You don't, you know, because we're blessed to be doing what we're doing, but you never know how long this kind of stuff will last. You don't know what could possibly happen to change things. So, you know, it's kind of like, if I got a bucket list, I'm not waiting. I pretty much checked all of that stuff off. Okay. I'm finding new buckets.
I got you. Okay, well, do you have any memorable moments in the studio or on tour?
You know what? It kind of goes back to the last question. I look at it like I'm creating my memories now. So I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I've always been afraid to sit and reflect on the things that I did in the past, because sometimes, to me, that means it's over. So before I'm gonna stop and start paying attention to all of this stuff that I did, I'm looking at what I want to do tomorrow.
I see. Great way to look at things.
Yeah, you know, it's paying attention, living in the now.
I feel you. So, what attracts you to the Redbull Thre3style tournament, and which DJ are you excited to see spin?
As a judge, I can't really say which DJ I'm excited to spin. I think it's great having some of the world's greatest DJs and some of the world's greatest up-and-coming DJs. Every year that we've done this, you see something new. Because it's always those guys that are competing are the ones that are in their room creating what's going to be the next thing for tomorrow. So as the established DJs and the judges, we get a kick out of, because we get to see that new hungry guy who's in his room making up what the template is going to be for tomorrow. So we, you know, it's the inspiration goes both ways. And it's just, you know, and especially to be involved, you know, with this maybe 6 years, you've watched it get better, bigger and better every year. You know, you watch the competition just grow, and it just grows and grows and grows. And it, you know, it's something to definitely look forward to every year, because, you know, I remember when, you know, SK won. I remember when Headspin won. I remember when Four Color Zach won. You know, I remember when Shintaro won. You know, and these guys are official Redbull DJs, that they're on the other side of the fence. They're ushering new DJs in and watching the next winners, you know. So it's definitely great. It's great. Great place to have it too.
Can you give a message or shout out to the R2 radio listeners?
I mean, the one thing that you really want to do is just say thank you and appreciation to the people out there who have, you know, rode with you you know, whether it be from day one or someone who just discovered. And especially me, I've been around so long that it, you know, I've affected some people's parents and their kids. So you're definitely blessed. You know, and like I said, I think the first time that I came to Japan might have been 25 years ago. So to watch the culture change and watch, you know, bumping into people that say, I was at your first show, and you're just kind of like, wow, you know. It's definitely appreciation, and you definitely want to give a shout out and thank you to all the people that have kind of been with you. You know, it's great.
Thanks for rocking with us, DJ Jazzy Jeff, tonight. So can you end this interview with a song of yours?
Yeah, I mean, listen, which one you want to hear?
Do you have any new projects or?
Yeah, you know what, I can give you. I just released the album with a guy from Philly. Actually, it's the MC that I brought with me named Dane Joy, called The Memoirs of Dane Joy, which we're really, really excited about. It's actually probably one of the first studio albums that I've done in about 10 years. And people like it, man. So, you know, let's play something off of that.
Okay. What song do you want to introduce from the artist?
Let's listen to In Progress. It kind of tells the story of how him and I got together and what the project is all about.
Okay, that's what's up. We'll give it up again for DJ Jazzy Jeff, everybody. Woo! Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. So what is it that you told me don't eat?
Shit,
I don't think you want to know.
No, I just want to know what the name is.
Shirako.
Okay, Shirako.
Shit, like,
Okay.
It's